To announce the Chicago Bears selection, it is our honor to introduce Brittany and Jarrett Payton, the children of Hall of Fame running back Walter Payton, who means so much to the NFL family.
With the 75th pick in the 2010 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select
Major Wright, defensive back, Florida.
Major need is the safety position in Chicago. Major Wright, I thought, was an undervalued safety, ran a sub 4.5 on tape. I'll tell you, he makes plays. He's physical, he's talented. He might end up being a better pro than collegiate. And there was a freshman pushing him for playing time this year. So when you watch tape, he didn't always show up on tape. And they play him in the deep middle of the field in that cover one scheme they like. But he's a playmaker. He's a very good tackler. And I think they're going to like him in Chicago.
And the only thing Major needs to work on the little things, stuff like moving your arms in his back pedal, little stuff like that I noticed on tape. You see him moving his arms right there, so obviously he had been working on that in the postseason. When you look at him, a little bit of stiffness issues, you even see that right there on the video, but in a B-line, when you talk about coming down a straight B-line, the ability to be able to really unload and get that explosiveness through the hip area when you tackle, he's got that. Can have to break down in space and tackle a little bit better in the open field.
And the Bears finally getting into the action on the NFL Draft Day #2 with the 75th pick tonight. The Bears selected Major Wright, a safety from Florida. He'll have a chance to crack the starting lineup in the Bears camp in the thin secondary. He'll challenge Josh Bullocks and Craig Stelz for a starting job.
We feel he can play the strong, he can play the free. He's a little over 5'11". He's around 205 pounds. He ran a 4.48. He's got good football smarts. Really nothing not to like. Again, in the third round, good pick.
Local flavor for the Bears on the back end of the NFL Draft. They just went up the road here in Northwestern to get defensive end Corey Wootton. Wootton came back from the ACL surgery to record 4 sacks for the Wildcats last year. He also had 6 tackles for loss. Corey is 6'6", weighs 270 pounds, and he joins a crowded picture at the Bears' defensive end position. Wootton is taken on the 4th round.
We see him as a 3-down player, more prototypical on the left side. But again, he's got to get himself back and going to where he was. It's not like his tape was poor as the year went on. He played better, played good at the end of the year, but he still hasn't reached the level that we saw in 08.
The Bears also getting more help in the secondary, taking cornerback Joshua Moore. He is from Kansas State, 5'11", did not have a good combine in Indianapolis.
Dan LeFevour just went off the board, guys. The Central Michigan Chippewa, drafted by the Bears.
This might be like my Reggie McNeil a couple years ago. Remember that one, Rich? He got like, was he 23 on my board, and where is this at 190th or something, 180th? But I tell you what, you look at him right here, this against Georgia mobility. I mean, this guy is the only player, other than Vince Young, your guy, to throw for 3,000 yards in a season and run for over 1,000. That right there was actually a 7-pump post he threw on Rashad Jones in that game. He played pretty well against Georgia, but there's question about his arm strength, lots of questions. There's questions about the delivery. You see right there, not a lot of ump on his fastball, and really the lack of competition. There have been a lot of good quarterbacks to come out of MAC, but he's not as highly regarded in terms of the physical ability. But in terms of Jamarcus Webb, I think there's a lot of potential there. You're talking about a guy that's about 6'6", 6'5", 6'6". I think the biggest weakness with him when you watch him, he has a tendency when he gets to his pass ball, uses a rowing motion, like he's rowing a boat.
Jamarcus was from North Mesquite High School. He came into our school. He was a very promising player. We thought he would be a great left tackle. It didn't work out for him in his first year. He transferred to a junior college, and we still think there's a lot of upside.
Lovie Smith getting his first chance to see the kids in person. The Bears' first pick of the draft is Major Wright, the safety from Florida. He was taken in round 3, filling one of the Bears' top needs. 4th round pick is Corey Wootton, the defensive end from Northwestern. And he told me he learned a lot in his first day in the NFL.
Learned a lot. Coach Marinelli, like I said, is a great coach. He was teaching us a lot of pass rush technique, a lot about get off, and just learned a lot today. I'm just trying to be a sponge and absorb everything.
I've known Corey for a long time. He's a good football player. We were surprised we were able to get him. His future is all ahead of him. He's smart. Northwestern guy, so he's smart, and he'll really grow, under Rod and Eric's leadership.